You would pay how much for a VHS of the 1984 Grammys?
I'm just saying, I watched it so many times. It's real cool. Lost the tape. I'd probably pay $300 for the 84 Grammys to say. You know what? I'd pay $400 if it had the original commercials in it. Because when I was a kid, I would watch it like multiple times. It was a great Grammys.
I would pay $400 for you to go away.
I would take it.
All right.
I'd call.
All right.
I want my $400.
It's $400. It's a high price, but it's not $10,000. But you know, when it comes to this event, you have to put a big price tag on it because it's such a prestigious event. And you know what prestigious events have? Obnoxiously not long names.
Such as
The Doyle Brunson Diamond Dodecahedron Web-Based Poker Classic with Jess and BJ. Unfortunately, though, I feel like we kind of jinxed poor Doyle on that one because no Diamond Dodecahedron because he is out in 18th place.
But he went further than he had to go for us to win our line.
That's true. Settling up yesterday's bet, now we both took the under on 25.5, right?
25.5.
For Doyle's finish, and he did get right past that, and he didn't have a very bad stretch of hands, couldn't make a pair, and even took to, not to call you out, Mr. Brunson, but kind of whining on Twitter, which is usually not something we see from Doyle, so I feel like things had to be really bad.
Yeah, made the final two tables in his the event named in his honor. Still, great achievement. I'm sure they'll find plenty of spots on the show to kind of work him in there.
Oh, yes. And when he busted out, the room gave him
Yeah,
hearty round of applause.
Round of applause.
And which no one else really
Unprompted,
got.
which
So
I think is nicer. Sometimes they
congratulations
kind of
to
call attention to it. Not the same. This was just respect from the fans, respect from the players at the table.
Yeah,
That
and
was
congratulations to us for beating the
Congratulations
bookie on
us.
this one. And
Oh, sure.
Congratulations me. 3 for 3, baby. Let's try to make it 4 for 4.
Yeah, okay, whatever. That one was a wash.
Four is actually the number we're talking about here because we have 15 players left now.
Yes.
4 of them have been WPT bubblers in the past. Both Ted Lawson and John Racner have 8th place finishes to their credit, and both Vanessa Selps and Sorrel Mitzi have 7th place, 7th box on their poker resume. None of them have ever made a WPT final table. Who is going to pop their bubble? And how many are there going to be?
The bookie set a line of 1.5. So basically, if one makes it, you want the under. If 2 make it, you want the over.
Yes. Just to kind of give you guys a sense of chips, John Racner is 2nd in chips with 1.9 million. Sorrel's got like 1.3. Vanessa's right under 900,000, and then Ted Lawson's pretty low on the totem pole with I think 400K.
Average is around the million mark or so.
Yes, 1.1, something like that. So 2 above.
2 above, 2 below,
below.
1 way above, 1 way below.
Exactly. I am going to take the over. I think Racner, as we've seen, can hold on to chips, and I think Sorrel, Vanessa would probably both be devastated to bubble another one. Sorrel would be 2 times in a row that I feel like one of them has to inevitably break through.
Kind of hoping you'd pick the under.
But you have to take the under to try to even catch up with me.
Yeah, but you know, I don't even care about that. I'm gonna take the over anyway. I'm rooting for too many of them to not take the over.
Fair enough.
Sorry. I want to catch in points, but to be honest, I don't care. And you can see that by the fact that I'm losing.
Yeah.
Because if I cared, I would be winning.
That's exactly the problem.
That's been proven.
All right. Now, Racner bubbled this, but, you know, had a pretty respectable finish about a month ago at the main event.
Hadn't heard about that. Tell me about that.
The old 2nd place main event finish. He is not the only person who has bubbled the win, if you will. We have 2 very notable players left in the field who have 2 very notable 2nd place finishes. Racner's in the main event, and Kirk Morrison's runner-up finish to Carlos Mortensen in Season 5's WPT Championship, which is pretty much the biggest event the WPT
Hands
has ever
down,
had.
biggest prize pool. $2 million Kirk made for 2nd place.
Yes.
Nice.
Very, very big. And you could even throw in Amit Makija, 2nd at Legends of Poker.
Right.
Not quite on the same scale, but still certainly worth mentioning. Who is, for today's day, Who was second best?
I'm going to say like the best of the seconds,
Yes,
Racner
exactly.
and Kirk.
They both Kirk and Racner had very big
Right.
days. Who had the better big day?
If you're just talking, obviously, chip counts, Racner's way up there. But I got to say the day belonged to Kirk Morrison. He was just kind of the life of this party. And he was playing so many hands, interacting with everybody. He was in control and out of control at the same time. And it's pretty fascinating. So
Yeah, read back through the updates. There's a lot of really good table talk in there and some craziness. Now, I do have to agree with you that Kirk Morrison, to me, was really the star of the day. But you have to give Racner some credit that this guy started the day with 137,000 chips. He was pretty low on the totem pole. And then it wasn't even that he had a bunch of big hands. It was just this gradual building. He did eliminate former 5-diamond winner Eugene Kachlov in a big flip, and that was one big pot. But the rest of them, it was like without showdown. He was taking on Antonio. He was pretty fearless about the whole thing and putting together another really good run.
let me say something else about Kirk that makes him great and a bit of an enigma. He disappears.
Yes.
He was a regular on the poker circuit back in the 90s, disappears around 2000 or so, kind of reappears out of nowhere late 06. 07, he gets 4 WPT caches in 2 months, follows that up with 5 WSOP caches. That includes the second place in the WPT World Championship, 56 in the WSOP main event. I mean, he was crushing everything, and then again, he disappears.
Is this guy from like Brigadoon or something?
Brigadoon.
It's that old movie with Gene Kelly and Sid Charisse where the guys stumble upon the town and it only appears once every 100 years and he falls in love with the girl and if you fall in love you can stay in the town, but he chooses to leave and then he lost her for the rest of time until they appear 100 years later. But
So
not
wait.
100, so like 2 years. He's 2-year Brigadoon. You know, and then he kind of made everyone fall a little bit in love with him today.
I'm still hung up on the woman named Sid. What?
Sid Charisse, French actress, American
Yeah.
actor.
Don't name your daughter Sid. Yeah, Kirk's a fun guy. I mean, he's, even guys he was involved in pots with. Like Kia Mohajeri was in a big pot and was saying, I'm trying to play like you. And he felt like, hey, are you in my head? What's up? He's an endearing guy.
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
No, I think we all fell a little bit in love to him. I know I did.
Let- Okay,
Anyways,
moving on.
Yeah, Brigadoon, way to go, Kirk Morrison. Andy Frankenberger busted out today, 17th place, which gives him 200 points. 16th place. 200 points in the WPT Player of the Year race.
Which he just keeps getting points.
He's up to 2,100 now. He's not the only Player of the Year contenders, though, because Sorel Mitzi's making this run. He is pretty much locked up Bluff Player of the Year race. It's not mathematically impossible, but it's not more than likely not going to happen. If he wins, I think it would be mathematically impossible. And if he wins Card Player, it's going to be very tight. You say Andy's got this big lead. Actually, Kia Mohajeri with a first or second place here because he got second at Borgata, which is pretty much the biggest event of the season so far, gets a little bit extra points. He could best Andy with first or second. He could tie with third.
So Andy Frankenberger is simultaneously running away with it and vulnerable as we speak.
Or you could simply say that the WPT Player of the Year race is heating up.
Trademarked Wicked Chops. Go ahead.
All right. Is the Player of the Year race what you would call the story of the day?
No, I'm going to come back to Kirk Morrison. I think Kirk was the, coming out of nowhere to, show up on the poker scene again, doing really well, making everybody wonder, is this guy...
Oh, so charming.
Not where I was going with this.
Oh.
Coming across like he has no idea what he's doing, almost like, oh, I'm drunk and just being this. I got to think, not that it's an act, but he knows exactly what he's doing. He's still playing poker. And, I mean, it's just, I think, the same way I loved watching Dwight Pilgrim, the way he was just
You
playing.
loved Kirk Morrison?
No.
Loved
Watching him play poker. And not, like, watching in this creepy way that you're watching me as I say this or something, but, like,
Are
just...
you calling me creepy?
No, I'm sure it's all
I'm
nice
not
and cool
creepy.
and stuff.
Kirk.
He's a fun guy to watch.
Yes.
There you go.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're going after. And so, of course, I've got to say,
Still don't think we're on the same page, but go ahead.
Kirk Morrison is most certainly the story of the day. just such a lovable guy.
Why is that? Go ahead.
No, and it was one of those, like, you know, sometimes people get a little bit testy if people are table talking with them and kind of messing around with them, and I feel like he has a way of messing around with his opponents in a way that's respectful, and still everybody was having fun with it.
Yeah, I agree. In some ways, he'll act quickly. It's not a total dragging out the decisions and all that.
So with that in mind, we've now come to our question of the day, which is, in honor of Kirk Morrison, who is your favorite Morrison?
All right, I'm going to go with Jim Morrison of The Doors.
All right.
Just great classic psychedelic rock.
To clarify, I can't pick Kirk, right?
No, that's not in the spirit of the question.
Okay, fine. This is tough when you've taken the favorite out of the competition. Matthew Morrison from Glee. Big Glee here. Matthew Morrison plays the teacher on Glee. He's pretty
No
darn
idea
awesome.
who that is. but
Imagine that. You don't get a contemporary pop culture reference.
I know what Glee is, and I'm not going to watch
Weren't you in Glee? When you were in high school, I mean, not on the show. Weren't you in the Glee Club?
Not what it was called.
Topless show choir?
Moving on. Shut up. I'm taking those pictures off Facebook.